You're watching Adorama TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to Adorama TV iPad app reviews. Well, a few weeks ago I was helping a fellow photographer at a bridal show, and at the booth she had all kinds of people signing up and giving their email addresses so she could send those out to them in newsletters and send special offers and promotions and all kinds of stuff. And at the booth, all kinds of other photographers at the bridal show came over and said, what is that application on your iPad that you're using, and how are you getting all of these email addresses? And so I thought I'd share it with you because it was such a smash success. And the application she was using is called Chimpadeedoo. And it's an absolutely free app. And what it does, it allows you to gather email addresses and physical addresses at events like bridal shows and trade shows and things like that. And then it connects with MailChimp, which is also free. And so you can send out newsletters and coupons and special events, and you can connect that to your WordPress site or your blog or whatever you're using. And it's a total solution for marketing for photographers or any kind of business really. And the nice thing is it's totally free. So let's take a closer look at Chimpadeedoo. Chimpadeedoo is very easy to use. So when you first open this up, it's going to ask you to log on and choose a list. Now this is something you'll set up in MailChimp. And so you can set up different mailing lists. And so I've already logged in, but I haven't chosen my list yet. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to click on this, and it's going to fetch the lists from MailChimp. And so I've got some different things here. And so we're going to choose this right here, Adorama TV News. And then it's going to ask me what the visible fields are. Again, this comes from MailChimp, so I've got my email address, first and last name. I can change that, and I can say only get the email address because that's the one required field. But I'm going to leave that. So we have first and last names. I'm going to go back here. Oh, one other thing I forgot to show you. You can change the order of these. So we could start here with the first name right there. I'll click on that, go last name, and then email address if you want. So I'll say done. I like that. Go back over here. We can change how it's the opt-in settings, so it can either be double opt-in, so people can sign up and then they'll get an email and then they'll have to say, yes, I really meant to do that. Or it's a single opt-in, so as soon as they log in and give you their information, they're in the mailing list. Or there's also the welcome email, which is the same as single opt-in, but they get an email address that says, hey, welcome to the email. It's really nice. Now we can also do this right here where we can have some security and we can lock this. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to change this, this password right fast. So I'm going to change this to something like test really quickly. I'm using an external keyboard if you're wondering how I'm doing this. So I'm going to do that. So that's set up for test. I will save that. And it says, oh, you have to have at least 6 characters. So I'll say test 1, 2. And I'll do that really fast. And I'll do that right here as well. So this is giving you nice security, and this lock is now on. And then also you can subscribe to the mobile lab mailing list if you want information for Chimpadeedoo. So that's all done. I'll say done, and now check it out. I have this little screen here, and if I want to, I can do all kinds of customizations. But just to show you really quickly how this would work at a trade show, I can click this little lock button. And now if somebody wants to, if you're not paying attention to your iPad and somebody wants to come in there and muck around with it, they can't because it's locked. The only way to get in there is to unlock that with that little password that we set up earlier. And so I'll type that in to unlock that. So it's got some security built in, which is really nice. But what we want to do though is we want to customize this. And so we can do that by clicking on this little A here. That's for all of the text. And so on this text here, instead of saying photographer, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to say Mark's Photography Company. And so you can make this say anything you want it to say. I'll click back, and then you can tell it what font to use. I don't like Bradley Hand here, so I'm going to choose something else, Apple Gothic, whatever. So you can choose that. I'll go back here, and then I'm going to change the title. And so instead of Get Good Stuff, I'm going to say here, sign up for my newsletter. That looks good. And then I'll also add a description. And in here, I can add something like you can win a free photo shoot or something like that. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff here, and I will say sign up to get all the groovy updates from Mark's Photography Company. All right, there we go. I'll go back. I can say which font I'm going to use, but I'm going to just keep that. And once that's done, you can see that now I've totally customized this. I can do some other things here though. I can change the text text color. So if I want it to be blue or black or red or something else, so I'll make this sort of a red here. That's really nice. And then there's this button down here, the subscribe button. I can make that whatever. I want to make it a bluish, a brighter blue here. There we go, something like that. And I'll accept that. And you can see I've changed those colors. Then I can also go back in here and I can select from a themed image to be the background. So color scale or medical, a restaurant or shopping, something like that. And so it looks a little bit nicer. Or you can even go in here and you can get something from your photo library. So I'll go in here, I've got this picture of this rock I took out in the parking lot, and I'll put that in there as the background. And so you can use that, or maybe I can put in here an image of a person, or even some of these things that we did a few weeks ago in Digital Photography 101 that's a little too busy for me. But you get the idea that you can make this anything you want. So I'll keep it at that rock. And then also you can add a logo. I don't have a logo on here, but if you have a logo, a PNG or GIF, you can actually add that. And so you can have your logo on there as well. And then over here you can change logo on left, top, right, or classic, which is no logo, which is really nice. So I'll put that right there, logo on left, and you can sort of see how that works. So instead of this little envelope, it would be your logo. So I'm going to go back here and say no logo. So you can really customize this and make it look great. Now the nice thing is this works without any kind of Wi-Fi. So if you're at a trade show or something where there is no internet connectivity, there's no 3G, there's nothing, this will actually allow you to take email addresses and then sync after you're connected. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to sign up. So I'm going to put in here Mark, and then the last name I'm going to say Jones, because my email is, I'm sure, is already in there. Then I put in my email, say askmark@adorama.com. There we go, and I'll hit subscribe. It says subscribing, thank you. And now it's ready for the next person. And then this will sync when you connect to Wi-Fi, or it'll sync immediately if you're connected to Wi-Fi. And then when you go into MailChimp, all of the email addresses and names and things that you've collected will be available to you to send out and get your newsletter out there to those people. Well, that's Chimpadeedoo, and you can see why I love it so much. It does a lot of stuff, and it's absolutely free. Well, if you found a great app and you'd like me to review it or tell other people about it, you can send me your suggestion to askmark@adorama.com.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store, located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.